Not how they expected. Oh my goodness. So I just wanted to do this video to do a recap of the Piers Morgan debate, because I know that some of you may have not seen it or others don't have the time to, watch the entire thing. So I just want to give little highlights, little snippets of debate and what I was thinking. So first thing first, I knew this was going to be a setup. And the reason why I knew it was going to be a setup, because I found out who was going to be on the panel. They told me that, hey, it was going to be 2 women and 2 men. I didn't know of anything of the Shapiro dude. I looked him up. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he goes in hard. Never have I seen on the Piers Morgan show where it's been 2 women versus 2 men. So I was like, got you. They're going to try and paint me like the Boogeyman. Okay, fine, sure enough, I'm expecting that. I don't know if you guys happen to know this. They wanted to get me on the show for the Ukrainian chick who was, taken away from the world by the schizophrenic black man. That's what they wanted to get me on the first time. I didn't catch the email in time. I was like, my bad. Shoot me up, next time if you want to work with me. So they hit me up with this. I was like, bet, let's do this. One thing I will say, I wasn't expecting it to be 3-on-1, because that's what it was. If you notice throughout the debate, what would happen is that Piers Morgan, whenever one of the women was getting filleted, Piers Morgan would step in. And he would go and put on his cape and da-da-da-da. What I also wasn't expecting was Piers Morgan to be so bad faith in his questioning, because he kept on trying to get a gotcha from me. He kept on trying to get a piece where he could make me look like just an evil black guy, right? Because that's what they want to view, black people. Black people are the bad people. That's why you have, what's her name? Megyn Kelly, I believe that's her name. The man-looking woman. Damn. Megyn Kelly talking about Obama. Right? They trying to bring it to black people. Oh, it's trans issues, a trans issue. Well, it's like, well, how about we talk about the white youth? And that's a quote that I'm really happy about. If he had spent a modicum of his time focusing on the white youth, that perhaps he would still be with us today. Message. Where I was like, hey, if Charlie Kirk had not spent his time so much, talking about black culture and, gun violence, and spent some of that, a modicum of his time in the white youths, perhaps he would be here today. Silence. Nobody said anything. And you'll see that's a reoccurring theme throughout the debate. Whenever he tries to get me with a gotcha, I smack it down, get that ish out of here. They don't say anything, right? Because after I said that, he doesn't follow up. He doesn't follow up with a question. He doesn't comment on what I said. He just then tries to go for, well, how does it make you feel? Matter of fact, I would argue that if Charlie Kirk, instead of focusing his time on black culture and black on black crime, if he had spent a modicum of his time focusing on the white youth, that perhaps he would still be with us today.
Are you pleased he's dead?
What? Just foolishness. Nothing but leading questions. Nothing more than emotional terrorism. That's what he's attempting to do. And trying to get me to slip up to make me look like some evil boogeyman who just wants to, get them all, I'm glad. No. One thing that they did throughout the debate was try to conflate people's feelings with how Charlie Kirk passed. And I think I should have stressed that point a little harder, because you can be elated about Charlie Kirk no longer being on this planet, okay? But also disagree with the way that he was taken from this planet. Those are 2 very different things, all right? You can disagree with the violence, but also be glad that he's not here. That feeling of happiness, of pleasure, of a person who caused harm, who caused terror to multiple communities, who was a complete bigot, anti-black racist, a litany of things, spreading misinformation, that you can be happy that person is no longer on the planet. And I say that because if he had died of old age, say he had died at 82 or something, people would still be praising that finally he's no longer on the planet, okay? Without the political violence. You can be happy he's not here, but also be like, yeah, I don't think this is the way to get this person off of here, okay, off the planet. Those 2 beliefs can coexist. And one thing that I have no problem is standing on 10. Because what they expected, I want people to understand, they expected me to get on there and start being Steven from Django. That's what they wanted. They wanted me to go, you know what? I used to think Charlie Kirk was a good person. And you know what? I didn't mean to say them posts, I didn't mean to do that. I'll delete them right now. You want me to delete them? I'm sorry. And that's not what they got.
Django isn't a slave. Django is a free man, you understand?
They got Django. Okay, the D is silent. That's what happened. And they didn't like that. And you can see from their reaction and their responses that they were unprepared for such a Negro to be on the podcast. Apparently they didn't do their due diligence, but I sure as hell did mine, okay? I don't know what to tell you, because they were very much shocked. You can look at them. There was multiple times throughout the debate that they were just stoned, that question didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, because they don't like being called hypocrites. They don't like, and I said this in the debate, I was like, yo, I'm a mirror. If you don't like what you see, then change yourself, all right? It's as simple as that, then change yourself. I just want all the racists out there who are gnashing their teeth right now, and all you little freaking death threats that you've been sending me. Let me just tell you something. We got 10 years of Charlie Kirk memes. I just want to let y'all know, we got 10 whole years of Charlie Kirk memes. That's correct. Them memes aren't going anywhere, bruh.
I think the point that I'm making by the memes that I'm putting out, which clearly has caused outrage and triggering, I find it a bit hypocritical that the people for years who said fuck your feelings are now overwhelmed with feelings at the moment.
Oh. And I want you to understand how deceitful Piers was. Because Piers showed up all these memes, right? You want to know what meme that he skipped on my profile? The meme that actually proved my point. That's the meme that he skipped. I'm going to show you. And it's a meme of showing that the MAGAs were laughing at the Trayvon challenge. They were laughing at the George Floyd challenge. But when it came to Charlie Kirk and people were saying, we don't care, then they were like screaming and crying. He didn't show that meme on the show. Didn't show that meme. And I blanked. I forgot that I had that meme up there. But that's why, because he's trying to paint a picture of a big, black, bad boogeyman. That's what he's trying to do.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Now when I interject, and I was told, mind you, yeah, Lucas, feel free to interject, all right? I just want to let you know, there is no taking turns. Just feel free to interject. I was like, all right, I'll do that. When I do that, what do they do? Oh my God, you're talking over them. Oh my God, what do? They play the victim. That's what they did throughout this entire debate. Played the victim, tried to make me the boogeyman. I just wasn't having it.
You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
When it came to Jillian Michaels, I would say it's a highlight. Jillian Michaels, I very much remember Jillian Michaels downplaying slavery. That's what she did. And I don't know what it is, but you can call me Ghost Rider. You can't put me in a room with evil and expect me not to go off.
Please get me out of here.
You're not going to put me on a panel with a woman I know who downplayed slavery, heard her on CNN with Abby Phillips, and expect me not to call her out. That's not how this is going to work. But they've grown so accustomed to not being called out that when someone does call them out, they don't know what to do. You see how flustered she got. You know the census. Don't tell me about any census.
I don't think I need any litigation from a woman who tried to downplay slavery, who tried to all lives matter slavery after she purchased a black child. That's what I would argue. I don't think you need to as far as litigate anything.
Would you like to discuss it?
Okay.
Damn.
What you
wrong.
cited was inaccurate. You can actually look it up. I don't know if you did. I doubt you do your due diligence. You clearly did not, because in that study that you're citing, in the study that I'm discussing it right now, in the study that you're citing, it takes into account not only the slaves, it takes into account the northern states and the southern states. So to try and implement or to say this all lives matter when it comes to slavery, which is abhorrent and in extreme contradiction to American history, especially in this country as chattel slavery is black Americans.
He's out of line, but he's right.
This is the same woman that when I asked her, did you do any due diligence about what Charlie Kirk said about black people being in segregation and whatnot, how they were better off? She's like, I fact-checked every word. She didn't even fact-check the census, bruh. These people are so deceptive, they're so deceitful, that if you don't know their deception, you'll just have to take it at face value, because that's what they're used to. They're used to, as I say, lineage of evil. This is, as Dr. DeGroy, great book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. I advise everyone to read it. But it goes on that, hey, how black Americans have post-traumatic slave syndrome, that many white Americans have post-traumatic slave master syndrome. Damn. And as a slave master, the slave didn't second guess the master. The slave didn't ask questions about the master. The slave didn't ask for reference. The slave couldn't read or write. What was the slave going to, as far as call out the master on? Nothing. So that's the mindset of many of these people. Not all, but many of them that come from a lineage of evil. That's their mindset. So when they are called out for their wickedness, when they're called out for their deceitfulness, just as Jillian was, she didn't know what to say. And then I called her out again. I was like, listen, the fact that you were going to, downplay slavery, but then have a black child that you purchased, that is disgusting. That's contradictory. Now, that got her in her feelings, and me Me saying that she purchased a child, but you have to understand, I'm very familiar when many white couples or white people purchase black children. We had a story not too long ago where this couple purchased black children and used them as slaves. So yes, 100%. You're going to have to tell me a moment in time where white people or a white majority love black people and they love black children. From what I recall of the history books, y'all were using black children for gator bait.
Damn.
So forgive me if I am, I have second thoughts when I see a white woman purchase a black child. And she tried to say, well, I had to pay the fees. Boo, you purchased a black child. That's what you did. It just is what it is. Now, I'm not saying that this is child trafficking. I'm just saying that, hey, there was fees attached with you having this child. All right. You can call it money laundering. You can call it whatever you want. I don't care. All right. I'm not saying she did that. I'm just letting you know that it can be very much seen as that, especially from a woman who doesn't even know black history. How are you not going to know black history but have a black child? I know why, because you want to brainwash her. You want to brainwash her just as America has brainwashed many black Americans. You want to brainwash her just as Charlie Kirk gets a whole bunch of Sambo soldiers, okay? So they can go out and brainwash other people. I understand why you want to do that. I get that. So you can say, how can I be racist? I have a black daughter. How can I be racist? My black daughter agrees with me. Your black daughter agrees with you because you probably brainwashed her. I understand the tactics that you do. I understand the evil that you guys have grown accustomed to, that you expect everyone to just accept as normal. And some of us don't accept that as normal. Some of us are going to call you out.
Someone cooked here.
And also, I just want to bring this up. I find it absolutely hysterical that Jillian wanted to say that Charlie Kirk didn't believe in race when literally his verbatim, almost his last words was, is that counting or not counting gang violence, bruh? He very much believed in race. That's why he brought up black women for his DEI. That's why he brought up as far as the great white replacement. How are you going to talk about the white replacement if you don't believe in race?
Damn.
Then we get into Jefree Star. And I really lost my ish then because I wasn't told that Jefree Star was going to be on the panel. Jefree Star just showed up, okay? Never told about Jefree Star being on the panel. And I was like, I know this can't be the same Jefree Star that called the N-word and said black women had nappy hair. I know this can't be the same person that you invited on the panel. Now, Piers Morgan, shocker, surprise, didn't know anything about that. This is what I'm talking about. They'll get me on memes, but then bring up Steven Crowder, who made a mockery of George Floyd. Did Piers Morgan ask Steven Crowder about his mockery of George Floyd? No. Bring up anyone throughout the 10 years that the right and many of these right-leaning accounts, whether it's Liberal TikTok, In Wokeness, I'm Yes, You Are No, many of these racist accounts constantly berated George Floyd, constantly brought up jokes and memes about George Floyd, constantly lied and said it was a fentanyl overdose, despite us having a courtroom and a verdict, okay, that dispelled all of those. Did he bring up any of those people and question them, hey, why did you put this meme out? Why do you keep on saying fentanyl overdose when that was proven not to be true? No. So I was going to lions then. Well, maybe next time y'all need to bring bigger lions.
I'm curious what makes you so curious.
That being said, going back to Jefree Star, I called that fool out as well. I'm like, listen, you like, why are you here to begin with? You have no say-so over anything. I don't think anybody even knows who this, whatever that thing is. But you best believe there are clips and there are documents of him calling black women nappy-headed and calling N-words. I don't lie. I don't need to lie.
Shut up, you fucking nigger bitch.
These people are of no value to me for me to lie on their name. What are we talking about? Now, at the end of the day, do I think that Piers will have me on again or I think other networks will invite me on? I don't know, bro. It's a coin flip, bro. It's 50-50, to be honest with you, because they can possibly see it as, hey, it's a benefit because of the ratings, but they can also see that as a threat. Because what you have to understand, what they want to present is a big, black, bad boogeyman. That's what they want. So when you have people like me that get on these programs and know the game, bruh. I know how to play the game. I know how to phrase things just as well as they do. I know how to, rope-a-dope and all the little, stupid little rhetorical antics. They see that as a threat, okay? So upon having someone be a threat, well, you're not going to have them on other shows because then they're going to be a threat there. They're going to be a threat there. They're going to be a threat there. And then eventually you get enough white people, some of the white ignorants start waking up. And then you get some of the black people who start waking up. Hey, I ain't got to be a Sambo soldier. Then it becomes a problem. That's what you have to understand. So all honesty, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But all I know is with when called upon, best believe I'm going to show up. Jillian did offer to have me on her show. We'll see if that comes of any fruition.
Let me bring in
if you'd like to come on my podcast, I would be more than happy to give you a platform.
That's a different podcast for a different time.
More than willing to have discourse.
Okay, you know what?
Honor Charlie Kirk,
if you're willing for discourse, let Riley Gaines speak.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep you guys informed. Anyways, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have a disagreement, you know where to find me. Thursday through Saturday, disagreement day. There'll be a number on screen. You call and we duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
Matter of fact, I would argue that if Charlie Kirk, instead of focusing his time on black culture and black on black crime, if he had spent a modicum of his time focusing on the white youth, that perhaps he would still be with us today.
Are you pleased he's dead?